All right, so let me set the stage for you. You're about to go work out. You want to feel loose and warmed up, but you're not quite sure what to do. Today I'm going to show you a full body stretching routine that's going to help you to feel loose and limber and ready to go no matter what your workout is. And by the way, you can do this routine even if you're not going to work out if you just want to feel better and looser. So what's it look like? There's different movements that accomplish different things. And the first thing is we're going to start in this position here. It's a lunge position. And what we're going to do is warm up a lot of different areas at one time. As you lean forward, you want that arm on the opposite side of the leg to go up and overhead. And what this does is it stretches out, obviously, the hip flexor on this side that can get pretty tight. But what I want you to focus on is also kind of kicking the hip out. So I want to be pushing that way at the same time. That's why I'm leaning. Lean and kick out, because that will stretch out that muscle called the quadratus lumborum that can become really tight in our backs here that causes low back pain. Never addressed enough. Okay, we do it from here, and then we swap to the opposite side. So we move through these stretches. You might have been thinking, yeah, I heard something about either staying in a stretch or moving through a stretch, one being better than the other for working out. If you're going to do a workout, I want you to be moving through your stretches because I want to make sure that we're not interfering with that muscle's capabilities to perform during the workout. And that will be shown with the wrong types of stretches where we just kind of hang out here. We save that for a different time of the day. Here you want to be moving through them. Right? If you want to see what that looks like from the side, again, as I move through, I'm also trying to encourage that knee going towards the toe. It's not as bad as we once thought it was, guys. It actually reinforces good squat mechanics. So especially if you're going to do a leg day, you want to make sure you're doing this properly. Just like that, getting that good hip flexor stretch, leaning, kicking that hip out, and reaching up and overhead. The next thing is we now want to thread the needle because we're going to introduce some hip rotation that not a lot of us get. You take this position here once again, but now I'm leaning over the toe here. I'm going to push into my leg with my opposite elbow, or the same side elbow this way, and I'm going to reach through this way here. Try to go as far as I can while pushing out, and then open up as far as I possibly can. Right? So I'm getting some real good adductor stretching going on. Again, back leg, hip flexor stretching, and now rotation through the thoracic spine, which we'll talk about and address even more specifically. But rotating here through, and then rotating up and through. And I want you to work one side at a time in this way. Now, generally when it comes to repetitions, you're looking at about 5 minimum to around 10 maximum, because what I don't want you to do is spend a whole ton of time on your pre-workout stretching. It's just not necessary. The workout itself will help you to feel loose. Next, something people don't address often enough. We have to fix this posture. Okay, we're too often in that posture. So the way we do it is with a simple little exercise like this to start the process going. We just call this a shoulder rock. So all I want you to do is just rock yourself forward. I'm trying to get myself from a position like this where my arm and shoulder is directly down at my side to where it can get behind my body. Because the more I can get behind my body, the more I can open up the chest, open the shoulders up, start to get some of that thoracic extension that we need to have that better posture. So we could do it in this rocking form. I just rock my body forward and then back. Forward a little further and then back. And again, 5 to 10 repetitions means if it's starting to feel good and it keeps feeling good with each repetition you do, then do a few more of them. Now, if you want to take this one step up, what you do from here is you lift up. So now I can open the shoulders even more, get a little bit of glute activation, and then open. The head in this case will go straight back. Okay, from here, touch down, lift, open, arms are going back behind my body into extension. So the shoulders start to feel really good. The next thing we do now, something I call the NSFW. What that means is not safe for work, right? You could do this in the gym, just keep it in the back corner. I want you to take your heels and put them together and get your knees out as far apart as you possibly can, like that. And then you're just gonna sink down and let your arms go in front of you like that. Okay, but the heels stay as close together as they can. So what it looks like is heels are together, okay? Sit down, arms go in front of you like that. You come out of the stretch just like this, just for a little bit of a break, and you push with your heels of your hands back into the floor and get down. So what this is obviously doing is working your groin and stretching that out. Those adductors get really, really tight. But look at also what it's doing for shoulder mobility. Look at how overhead my arms are with the assist of the floor. So again, come out of it from here and then drive down each time, trying to sink a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper towards your heels with your butt. Okay, next, from that position. Again, I want you to be able to flow through these too, because they should kind of keep you moving. Again, I don't want more than 5 total minutes of warm-up here in stretching. And I already feel great, by the way. Now I come straight down this way. The legs are together this time. And now I'm going to keep my hands right up underneath my shoulders and then press up and stretch out that whole front side. For me, it's the abs I can feel stretching. It's the hip flexors, again, I can feel stretching. But I really try to open up. And at the same time, I'm trying to open with the chest too. Like spread the shoulders as far as I can apart and open the chest up. Now, if you can't press this high because of mobility issues, that's fine. You just press as high as you can. You might press to here. But anything you can to now start stretching out that front side is the goal. And again, we're moving through them. Down, release, go right back up again until you work your way through your 5 to 10 repetitions. Okay, next. It's not all just about stretching everything out, but it's about activating some of the muscles that don't get a hell of a lot of activation. They're the dormant muscles that we don't really tend to activate or use enough. So we can do that with one move here we call angels and devils. All right, so I'm facing down. I just take my hands, put them right down at my side, like that. The head will be down. And then I'm going to lift everything up, so engaging the glutes, engaging the hamstrings, engaging the muscles of the low back, the mid back, the upper back. And then I want to take my arms and swing them out as far as I can, really reach in that direction as far as I can, get the thumbs pointing towards each other and touching each other, and then come back, all the way back, swing them as far as you can, go back over your butt and touch your thumbs again. So swing them around, up, touch the thumbs, swing them back around, and come down. In between each rep, just give yourself that one little reprieve, activate everything again, lift up, and then go through the repetition here, and then back here, let everything come down, and then go up again. Next, we have the toe tap. So we're reinforcing this dynamic motion to also keep those arms feeling good, get that overhead mobility. So from here, now we're just gonna shift the focus to the hamstrings, all right? Just being in this downward dog position here, you try to keep your heels down as much as you possibly can. It's gonna be tough for some of you. You're gonna have a little bit of a knee bend, but try to keep your heels down so you stretch your calves and also, as I said, the hamstrings. And now what we do is we reach for our toe. But what's happening is we're not just getting more hamstring stretching and low back stretching, but this forward arm that's in contact with the ground, relative to my body, is going more into flexion overhead. Okay, so again, I'm reaching, touch, try to keep this leg back straight. It's even tough for me. Come back, alternate this side. I'd say this is one of the hardest ones for me to do still, but I can tell you that each repetition that I do starts to feel more and more capable and possible because of the flexibility that you start to build with each successive rep. Again, that's how flexibility and mobility should be prior to working out. It's more about feeling loose than it is about establishing all new muscle lengths. That's not going to happen through one dynamic routine. The feel is what you're going for. The actual lengthening of the tissues is going to happen through more of that static stretching that we do day after day after day, which I have videos showing you exactly how to do that. Then we stand up, last two, on your way out the door or right into the gym to go get your workout done. These are simple. These all of our baseball players do every single game before the game. They're just dynamic leg swings. I'm going to turn and face this way first because we do them in two different directions. The first is a cross body, just like this. And after you have that feeling of looseness that's been building over the last couple exercises, it's going to feel really good. The goal here is to get rotation through the swinging hip and also the down hip. When you swing your leg across the body, that toe should point in that direction and up towards the sky. So point left and up. When I go back this way, the toe should point to the right and up. What that's doing by having the toe move is causing rotation through the hips. Internal rotation, external rotation. And with each time, I'm trying to get higher and higher and higher. As the hamstrings start to feel looser, that's going to be more and more possible. Okay? But this down hip is also going through a lot of rotation in a stable way, in a ground-based, closed chain way. Okay? So once I'm done with that, I go across the body the same way with the opposite leg. And again, I would do as many repetitions as needed here to make sure that the height of each leg is around the same when you did the right and the left. Then we turn this way to kind of finish it up. Now we're going more glute activation and hip flexor stretch on the way back, and then even hip flexor activation on the way up, forward. So I'm just going up, just like this. Swing, back, swing up. Try not to lean too much while you're doing this, because you might only be getting this much of an actual dynamic stretch, and using more of upper body movement to make yourself think you're doing more than you are. If you keep the upper body stable, you're going to be getting actual joint motion on each and every swing. Okay? And we do the other side. And the last thing is that hip rotation that we don't get enough of, we actually accomplish it with something we call the door opener. So once again, we're looking for internal, external rotation. You stay like this. I'll turn and show you in a second. But basically, I'm going to swing my leg across my body at this height, down, and point my toe down into the ground, like trying to stab the ground down, turn it in, right? Turn it in like that. Then lift it back to this height again, bring it all the way out as far as I can, and then stab it into the ground, this time pointing back behind me. So externally rotating and engaging that glute. If you don't feel a squeeze right here in your glute, then you haven't really planted your foot in the ground the right way. But once I squeeze, I lift up, big swing across, point down and across. Big swing up, point down and point it out. So just like this. And what it looks like again from the front is I'm bringing the leg all the way around, pointing it down that way, okay? Turning it in as much as I can, lifting it up, pointing it out that way as far as I can, opening the hip, and then stabbing it into the ground with the hip open. You do that one side at a time, 5 to 10 repetitions, literally in 5 minutes. You'll feel really good. You can attack any type of workout you want. If you want to strip this down and use just the upper body movements, if you're doing an upper body workout, that's fine. Again, you don't have to be working out. You can do this if you just want to feel better overall. Guys, I actually have another video of what you can do straight out of the bed in the morning you're going to want to watch here. Super helpful, drill down to just the 5 best moves. In the meantime, if you haven't done so, click subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss a video when we put one out, and also full programs, supplements, and these t-shirts available over at ATHLEAN-X.com. See you soon.